The silence was deafening. Just 3 weeks into her cleaning contract, Kesha Williams had stumbled, shattering a crystal tray on the marble floor of a Manhattan ballroom. 200 of the city's elite watched as Millionaire William Thompson III, drunk on whiskey and power, pointed a champagne glass at the 35-year-old black maid and sneered, "If you dance this waltz, I'll marry my son to you." The cruel joke sent a wave of laughter through the crowd. Thompson's 28-year-old son, Jonathan, whispered, "Dad, you're being ridiculous." But William, savoring the humiliation, cut him off. "Let's test her coordination. Play a waltz. If she dances better than my wife, I'll marry her." To the heir of the Thompson fortune on the spot, Kesha, kneeling and picking up the shards, felt no fear, no humiliation. Just a deep calm. She stood up, wiped her hands, and looked the millionaire straight in the eye. "I accept," she said, her voice cutting through the hall. Silence. William blinked, momentarily stunned. "What did you say?" "I accept your challenge," Kesha repeated, a subtle smile appearing. "But when I dance better than your wife, you will keep your word," even though it was meant as a joke. The audience laughed harder. This was going to be the biggest embarrassment of the decade. They did unsee the familiar gleam in her eyes. The same gleam that once mesmerized audiences on the world's most prestigious stages. William's wife, Victoria Thompson. A woman who taught ballroom dance to the elite, approached with a venomous smile. "Do you really think I need to lower myself to compete with this?" Kesha watched, her mind flashing back 15 years. Back then, she wasn't Kesha Williams, the cleaning lady. She was Kesha Morrow, principal dancer with the American National Ballet, overtaking the world. Standing ovations. Critics calling her transcendent. It all ended one tragic night. A car accident. A 3-month coma. Doctors said she'd be lucky to walk normally again. Professional dance. Impossible. William turned the spectacle into a cruel betting ring. $500 on his wife. $1,000 on the employee. "When you lose," he hissed to Kesha, "I want you to get down on your knees and apologize for wasting everyone's time. Then you're fired." Kesha's calm finally broke, replaced by the same fierce determination that drove her through months of brutal physical therapy. "When I win, and I will win, you will keep your word about the marriage. But I also want something else." William raised an amused eyebrow. "Oh, she makes demands now. Amuse me. I want you to admit in front of all these guests that you judged a woman wrongly based on the color of her skin and the work she does. And I want a public apology." The room tensed. William laughed loudly, but the laughter was hollow. He had no idea he was facing not a cleaning lady, but a woman who had lost everything once and knew exactly how to fight for her dignity. As William collected bets, a security guard named Marcus approached Kesha. He was in his 60s, a man of quiet respect. "I saw you dance 15 years ago at the National Theater. Kesha Morrow, principal soloist. I was security there, too." "He was the only one. The newspaper said you'd never dance again," Marcus murmured. "The newspaper said a lot of things," Kesha replied. She made a quick, crucial decision. "Marcus, after I dance, I need you to record everything that follows, especially the reactions." William shouted a final, cruel condition. If Kesha failed, she had to clean the entire room on her knees. Jonathan looked on, horrified. Victoria danced first competent, predictable, amateurish by true standards, but cheered by the polite audience who only saw status. Kesha walked to the center. "What song?" the DJ asked. "The same one," she replied. William mocked her, but Kesha had chosen strategically. This was the waltz she had danced for her 5-minute standing ovation at the National Theater. The music began. Kesha moved. No one expected this. The hesitant steps they anticipated vanished, replaced by a grace that changed the air in the room instantly. Her first pirouettes were challenging for a professional. Her grand jeet lifted her with a lightness that defied physics. This was an amateur ballroom. This was classical ballet of the highest order, masterfully adapted. William Thompson stopped laughing. Victoria stopped smiling. Confusion became disbelief, then something close to terror on William's face. "Who the hell is this woman?" Hay whispered. Kesha performed the final signature sequenza, a fusion of unique classical techniques. The woman who recognized the moves gasped, "I know those moves. It's her." The crowd fell into a deep, stunned silence. Then, a roar. The entire hall was on its feet, applauding with an intensity that rattled the windows. Marcus, still recording, raised his voice over the applause. "Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Keisha Moreau, former principal soloist with the American National Ballet." The name hit the room like a bomb. William was pale. He had publicly humiliated a legend. Marcus played the recording of William's bet, his voice clear, his arrogance preserved. "That's blackmail." William screamed, his mask of control gone. "No, this is accountability," Kesha corrected calmly. Jonathan, seeing his father's defeat and his own integrity on the line, stepped forward. "Miss Moreau, I would be honored to honor my father's word. Any man would be honored to marry someone of your talent and dignity." Kesha smiled at Jonathan. "Your son seems to have learned that lesson, Mr. Thompson." She turned to the crowd, her voice ringing with finality. "I'll accept dinner with him, but marriage, that's something two people decide together, based on love and respect, not humiliating bets." William Thompson, losing everything as company, his reputation, his son's respect slunk out of the hall, defeated. Marcus's recording went viral instantly. William Thompson III was out of his company within 24 hours. Kesha, bombarded with offers, chose to open the Kesha Marrow Center for the Arts, funded by donations, with Jonathan as the first major donor. Kesha's true revenge wasn't destroying William Thompson. It was building something so beautiful and inspiring that his cruelty seemed insignificant. She proved that the best response to those who underestimate us is simply to be extraordinary.